Hey, and welcome back to Revise with Jen. Today's video is just going to be about how you choose your GCSEs and A-levels, because there's no point learning all of these revision tips if you don't even know what you're going to choose. So this is aimed at those in year 8 or year 9 in some places, and those in year 10, 11-ish. I don't know, a lot of people can watch it. If you're unsure, watch this video. I'm going to be explaining to you how I chose my GCSEs and A-levels personally, what I chose, why I thought that they would be good ideas, just little generic things of my experience that I hope can help you, because I keep saying this and I'm going to keep saying it, everybody is unique. For my GCSEs, I chose triple science, oh goodness, this is hard, triple science, geography, Spanish and astronomy, which was an early entry, and I did another one, psychology. How can I forget that? And psychology. So we had to either choose between geography or history. I was always better at geography, so I chose that, plus history, unless it's given to me in like a funny infographic like horrible histories or crash course, I will not understand a thing. I will not understand it, it will bore me and I will fall asleep. The rest of the subjects I chose because I had a particular career in mind. At that point it was forensic science, so I chose triple science obviously because I needed a science-based subject in order to get into the A-levels I needed. I chose psychology because I was really fascinated and always have been in the human mind, and I thought it'd be really interesting, and I ended up actually really falling in love with it. It influenced me to take it again at A-level, and then that taking it again at A-level caused me to completely change my career path to forensic psychology, which is not too far a stretch, except going from more lab-based fingerprinting work that you see in CSI to profiling and stuff like that you kind of see. I think NCIS had a criminal profiler in the first few series. Kate, she was like a criminal profiler in that respect. Stuff like that is what I want to do now, so I'm glad I took it. Spanish, this was a bit of a weird one. I thought a language would look really good on my CV for starters. I had mostly done Spanish. I'd done Spanish from year 6 upwards. Not that it shows because I can't remember much of it at all. And I only did French for 1 year, so I thought, don't really want to do that. And I don't know, the thought of the language, like I said, interested me too. Like I said, it would look really good on my CV, travel more with it, and it would just open little barriers that I didn't think would be there, and it would make me more employable as well. If I could still remember it, that would probably be the case, but I might need to sit down and actually study everything again, because languages aren't my strong point, despite the fact that I'm trying to learn 2 more, which is probably not the best idea. What else did I choose? Astronomy. Ever since I was little, I have adored space. This year being the 50th year since the 1969 moon landings, just honestly such a special year, and I don't know, I really liked it. Planets, the thought of different life out there, like aliens and stuff like that. It's just really interesting. I'm interested in a lot of things. I don't know much, just a lot interests me. Also at GCSE I had to do compulsory English and maths, and basic science, which everybody had to do. Oh, and PE as well, and PSHE, because everybody had to do that. They were just like the core subjects. For 3 years I did those chosen subjects, and then I got to year 11 and thought, great, it's time to choose my A-level subjects. I can choose something that I'm really fascinated by. It will be really easy, because not easy, it'll be easier maybe than GCSE, because I'll be doing something that I really adore. So I chose chemistry, English and psychology. I did do geography AS, but like I said, it was just the AS, so I dropped it after the first year. I did my exam in that and I have a qualification in that, so maybe as well I'll do some videos on geography, but it will only be AS geography and GCSE geography, because I don't know much else about it. I didn't do the second year, as I said. So I did 4 at first and then 3 into my second year, and let me just tell you kids, it ain't easy. it really is not easy. You think it's going to be so much simpler because you'll be doing a subject you enjoy, but the workload is tenfold and it is a lot harder content. And I'm not trying to scare you off A-levels, I'm just trying to give you the truth, so when you go into it, you know what to expect. I'll call it a spade at all points. And I'm not going to like fluff up and say, oh yeah, they were a breeze, I really loved it. And I did really love my subjects, but at some points you do fall out of love with them. And I got to the point of hating some of the subjects I really loved the most at GCSE, because you think, oh, just constant revision, constantly going over it, just all of the time. You get bored, you really get bored of it. And it's a lot more to keep up with, should I say. There's a lot more expectations when you reach A-level. You expect it to be more independent, you expect it to be more productive in your work than you were at GCSE. Like GCSE, you could probably have gotten through, even if you did just like an hour of revision a day, you probably could have got through it depending on how you worked and your already existing knowledge base. But at A-levels you have to constantly be revising, and that is a big commitment. It's like working a full-time job doing A-levels, it really is. And then especially if you have a part-time job on top of that, for some people that can get too much, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of, because it's like working 2 jobs then, it really is. And it's just a lot of time to do that. But in terms of choosing your A-levels, if you have a career in mind, for example, mine changed to, I was still on forensic science at that point, so I chose mine because I thought I needed 2 sciences to get into my dream course, and I didn't know psychology counted as science, and I knew geography did, so I took that one. So that and chemistry would be my 2 sciences. Then I would have 2 other A-levels, and then I realised that psychology did count as a science on this dream course, so that was one of the reasons that I did drop geography as well. But I also thought that I couldn't take 4 A-levels through to the full amount. Some people do. I think some people are doing 5 A-levels, but it's just an awful lot of workload, and I do not think I could have managed that. But if you can do it, kudos to you, because that takes a lot of work, and I have a whole lot of respect for you if you do that. But if you don't, that's fine. Most people only look for 3 A-levels anyway. But I changed to forensic psychology because I thought I was better at, well, I thought I am better at psychology than I am at chemistry, so I knew that my chemistry grade would be not enough to get me into university. And also by that point I had kind of fallen in love with the more forensic psychology side, especially after attending a course about it, and the course really swayed my view into forensic psychology 100%. And I was lucky enough to already be doing A-levels that allowed me to get onto the course, because if not, I don't know what I would have done. If you don't have a career mindset, just pick the subjects you enjoy, although you may end up despising them by the end of it. Along the way you might find something you enjoy, especially if you have the opportunity to work experience. If you don't have a dedicated week, I would suggest finding work experience on your own, maybe for the holiday times, because my work experience, I did it in a laboratory, and it was chemistry based, and I obviously still had the intention of doing forensic science. And then, I don't know, the chemistry work really interested me and I loved it a lot. I really loved my work experience, but I couldn't see myself doing that every single day. So even if your work experience, you end up thinking, oh, I've wasted my time, you haven't wasted your time, because if that's not a career you want to go into, it's better off finding out now than it is when you've left university or you're in that actual job and you can't go to any other job because you don't have the right qualifications for it. So process of elimination if it's not something you fall in love with, but definitely do try to find work experience placements. There are a handful, maybe more, I don't really know, I haven't really looked, of websites that specifically cater for work experience. Contact employers yourself in fields that you're interested in. So if you're interested in dentistry, see if you can find your local dentist and go to them and say hey, or the dentist you're registered with, and go, do you mind if I do my work experience here for a week? Even if it's just on the front desk, maybe you can still ask if you can go and observe different procedures, because that will still look really good on your CV as well. It definitely makes you more employable, even if they look at your sheet and think that's completely different to what they want to go into now. Like I said, you can say I chose that, didn't like it, moved on, but it still shows work experience, it still shows you're productive and thinking about your future. in that respect. And you never know, you may find something you absolutely adore, and that's all the better. But you could choose to do your work experience multiple times. So if you take 3 subjects, you can do a work experience based in each field. So say, like for mine, I could have done a psychology one, I could have gone into journalism for English, and then I could have gone into, like I said, I did go into a lab for chemistry. I could have gone on a, I don't know, find a geographer's guild. This isn't Paddington, hold up. Anyway, I could have yeah, so I could have found somewhere to do with geography, I should have said, and gone in to do that, just to broaden my horizons. And you can do it for a week, you can do it for a month, you can do an ongoing once a week working experience, which is really fun. I did that. I did a once a week volunteering thing, and I really enjoyed it. Although there was a bogey in my hair at one point because I was working with children. Definitely not the best memory of that, but overall it was a really productive experience. And maybe I don't now want to work with little children, but definitely maybe older children. Like I said, process of elimination, and I didn't like working with that age group, but maybe I like working with a different age group. And if I don't like working with that age group, maybe I don't like working with children at all. And then I can just explore my options from there. Just a little summarise: if you have a career in mind, look for what they require for their entry positions at university. If you don't, choose what you love. And I probably could have done that and it would have been a 30-second video, but what you love, and go with your gut. Even if it may seem a sorted mishmash of subjects, when I used to tell people what I was doing, they go, that's quite a broad range of subjects, like they're vastly different. And I would think, yes, but I love them, and they are directed, albeit in some ways very loosely, towards what I want to do. But I have chosen subjects that will allow me to transfer if needs be. If I really hate my course, which, touch wood, I hope I don't, I can always move courses. And oh, that's another thing, point 3, if you don't know what you love and you don't have a career in mind, pick subjects that will allow you to go for any career. So sciences are quite versatile. If you do general studies, be warned, because some people don't accept that. I know some of the courses that I looked at excluded general studies as an A-level, EPQ as well. That looks really good. Whatever, just pick a subject that you think will broaden your horizons, or just look at a load of different university courses and pick the key most occurring themes. But obviously sixth form isn't your only choice. If you want to go down to an apprenticeship, obviously that's a bit more direct, and by that point you tend to have a career in mind. So if you're going to go down that route, you tend to be a little bit more focused with your future, I should say. But people do apprenticeships and they fall into it. They think, oh, I'm not good enough for A-levels, or I don't think I'll get the grades to get in, I should look for apprenticeships. They pick one, they fall in love with it, and that ends up being their forever career. But obviously, like I said, and I will continue to stress repeatedly, everybody is different. There's no right or wrong way about choosing things, going about things. Do what feels right for you. Always do what feels right with you. And there are plenty of people out there to revise you. There's student forums. You can ask me in the comments below, or the email, which I will always leave in the description. Ask your subject teachers, ask your family, friends that have gone to university, family members that have gone to university, your neighbour's cat. Ask anybody, and they will all give you a different opinion. And it's the collection of those opinions that help you form one cohesive opinion of your own. Which I think having your own point of view is very, very, very important, because that shows that you're not just choosing A-levels because your mate did. Don't do what your mate does just because you think that it'll be cool to share some classes with them. I shared some classes with some of my friends, and I didn't share classes with some of my friends, and I shared classes with others. But I chose mine purely on base what I wanted to do. If your friend has the same career path as you, great, pick the same A-levels, especially if they've done more research than you, piggyback off them. But double check as well, don't just be led into A-levels, and don't just say your mate thinks, oh, it'll be cool to do this subject. If you've got no interest in doing that subject, just don't do it. Don't do subjects that think you will be bored to tears in. Like if I had to take history, no offence to everybody who does history out there, although geography is clearly superior, If I had to do history even, I would have been bored. I would have been so bored, and then I wouldn't have got great grades, and it would have been a waste of my time. It really would have been a waste of my time. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.